Hi, this is Ian Boyd, the writer-director for the up-and-coming feature-length documentary film, Being Left-Handed. This is This Left-Handed Day in History, episode number 3. It's March 4th. Born in this day, in 1944, left-handed Bobby Womack was born in Cleveland, Ohio. The American R&B singer, guitarist, known for Women's Gotta Have It, the 1974 US No.10 single, Lookin For A Love, and the 1993 No.27 single with Lulu, I'm Back for More. He passed away in 2014 at his home in Tarzana, California on June 27, 2014. He was 70 years old. Also in music on this day in history, in 1966, one of the biggest oops moments in music history, when John Left-Eyed Lennon said that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus. Oops. And let the record burnings begin. Radio stations stopped playing the Beatles, and an untold number of albums were burned at the stake. Maybe it was the record companies that had him say it, because I'm sure they made a small fortune when every kid who burned all his records had to spend 6 months of his lunch money just to buy them all back again. Now that's what I call marketing. As I've said before, being left-eyed is very much like being left-handed, and McCartney and Ringo Starr are both lefties in the band. In 1968, the third Academy of Country Music Awards honors left-hander, fine guitarist, and singer Glenn Campbell for Gentle on My Mind. In 1994, southpaw Kurt Cobain was rushed to the hospital after overdosing on alcohol and drugs in a Rome hotel during a Nirvana European tour. Cobain had taken 50 to 60 pills of Rohypnol mixed with champagne. Rumors on the internet claimed that Kurt was dead. Can't imagine what kind of an impact that would have, since virtually no one was on the internet back in 1994. Or maybe that was just me. In 1922, the first vampire film Nosferatu was released in Germany, an adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. To my knowledge, neither Stoker or the actors in Nosferatu were lefties. But in Francis Ford Coppola's version in 1992, 3 of the film's stars were lefty. Keanu Reeves, Gary Oldman, and potentially Winona Ryder. Not sure about her. As a side note, in my opinion, Oldman utters one of the most romantic lines in history. I have crossed oceans of time to find you. Priceless. In the royal family in 1945 in the United Kingdom, southpaw Princess Elizabeth, later Queen Elizabeth, joins the British Auxiliary Transport Service as a driver. What, like an Uber driver or what? She couldn't make it as a Lyft driver, so she had to become the queen. Speaking of American not royalty, in 1789, the first U.S. Congress meets and declares the Constitution in effect. All right! Famed left-hander, inventor, writer, and politician Benjamin Franklin was one of the framers, as well as Thomas Jefferson, who taught himself to write lefty. In my opinion, I think he might have been lefty to begin with. And regardless of what he was, my feeling is that he was the most clear-minded of all of them, and he and Franklin the most quotable. In 1881, lefty James A. Garfield inaugurated as the 20th President of the United States of America. He knew and taught both Latin and Greek, and was also ambidextrous. Stories emerged to the effect that Garfield would entertain his friends by having them ask him questions and then writing the answer in Latin with one hand while simultaneously writing the answer in Greek with the other. Okay, I'm officially intimidated. But fortunately for us mere mortals, the stories are undocumented. I do think he was pretty smart, though. That's probably why they killed him. He went against the banks, you know? Go figure. In 1929, left-hander Herbert Hoover was inaugurated as the 31st U.S. president. Most of the left-handed presidents have been in the last 40 years or so, starting with Gerald Ford, Reagan, George Bush Sr., Bill Clinton, and Obama. A lot of left-handers are politicians because they're basically just actors who are good at reading speeches or teleprompters. Speaking of left-handed presidents, 1997, U.S. President Clinton bans federally funded human cloning research. A lot of good that did. Cloning is alive and well. Maybe that's a big part of being left-handed, is being anti-cloning of the mind. Think outside the box. See you next time, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for listening. Bye.